Now we're joined by Mike Labitzke, engineer for the City of Evansville. Mike, always great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Noah.
What are some of the major road projects going on in the city right now? We've already heard from guests about the Lloyd Expressway and US 41, but what's going on in the city?
Yeah, so the City of Evansville still has its paving list that needs to finish for the year. So we're trying to coordinate this as best we can with everything else going on. Some of the bigger corridors are Green River Road from Morgan up to just south of Lynch Road, where we've stopped paving in previous years. That's going to do it's going to have a pretty deep mill and overlay. We'll do that during the night to avoid a lot of the congestion from the traffic and stuff and keep people as safe as possible. And then Washington Street's probably the other really big corridor. That'll be a mill and overlay from about 8th Street all the way out to Weinbach, across 41 and out to Weinbach.
And I know Waterworks had some work done too, people trying to get out to the marina there perhaps. What's that looking like?
Yeah, it did. So there was a lot of soft subgrade failure. We were able to look back on aerials and saw, that's a pretty persistent problem. It's been that way for well over a decade. So city crews tried to get out there and do a deep patch to it, try to stabilize that subgrade, and they just ran out of week. So they ended up just putting rock up just so that the businesses down there could get customers to them over the weekend.
Mike, you mentioned off camera, a lot of these projects that you've got to do up through October. I'm curious, are there any other ones, particularly in the downtown corridor, related to the Evansville water and sewer utility, some of the construction projects there affecting road closures? Are those figured into this schedule too for overall city paving?
They are. I know it doesn't seem like it because there's so much going on, but yeah, we do try to shuffle the deck with the contractor. There's several different contractors we have to deal with too. So, the paving contractor for Walnut, for example, isn't the same contractor that I have to pave Washington Avenue or to pave Court Street, which is also on the list in the downtown. But we do try to coordinate with the individual contracts so that we can kind of clear some of the work out before we start new work.
And you're driving, let's say Lincoln, even Covert over there by Fuquay Road. You see fresh oil, and I think this is such a fascinating topic, fresh oil laid down. Can you help our viewers at home understand what is that doing? Why are you guys putting oil down, maybe a little sand? What is the purposes of that in terms of road care?
Yeah, so that's kind of a new tool in our toolbox, so to speak. So we hadn't done it before 2024. What that is, that's a maltine asphalt oil that we put on the existing asphalt. Then we sprinkle with a little sand so it can kind of help sop up the excess oil. What that oil does is replaces a pretty vital piece of the asphalt that either gets evaporated when the hot mix asphalt is initially installed or has degraded over time just with ultraviolet degradation. The maltines, which are very flexible, help that asphalt to stay waterproof and gives it a longer life. So it costs about 10% of what it would cost for a mill and overlay, and we expect to get a whole lot more than 10% additional life out of it by applying it.
And this is separate from chip and seal?
Yeah, it is not chip and seal. Okay. Yeah, we do not chip and seal within the city limits.
And why?
Well, just because of the oil, and then just the aggregate. I mean, the oil and the aggregate, it just causes stickiness to cars. It's just not clean. It doesn't really give off a city feel. It's more of a country feel. So,
sure.
Yeah.
When all is said and done, when are you hopeful to have a majority of all of that street paving finished for 2025?
It'll take us right up to the end of the year. So right up to Thanksgiving. And if there's good weather beyond that, we may be even working between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, the last step will always be to stripe it. So it just depends if the temperatures are right. It needs to be 50 degrees or rising to finish our work.
If I'm driving on a city street, run into a pothole, crevice, divot, whatever have you, want to make my concerns heard, who am I contacting at the city, Mike? Is that you in your office?
So it's not, but it's you can contact anybody in the city. We'll get you to the right person. But there's a pothole email, I think, that goes to the Board of Public Works and the city garage. They're actively out there all the time, filling potholes and trying to get the roads back to as best a condition as possible.
What do you tell people at home who are fed up with the road work? What's your parting message?
Well, it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of potholes, and there's a lot of paving, and the paving the paving fixes the potholes. So I know the existing condition isn't great, but there's still more kind of pain to go through to get the condition better. The beauty of a mill and overlay, or even like a preventative sealant that we're putting on like covert, it only takes a couple of days. And hopefully, if we're there 4 days to mill and overlay and stripe it, we won't be there for a couple of years till we put that sealer down, and then we won't be there for 3 to 5 more years till we do a crack and seal. And we won't be there for 10 or 15 more years until we have to mill and overlay it again. So we just have to get ahead of the curve. We have fallen behind the curve over the last couple of decades, and it's going to take a lot of work to get back into our right spot on the curve to keep our roads maintained.
What's led us to being behind the curve? I'm just curious if people are interested. Why are we behind the curve?
A lot of it's underinvestment. So it's how much has been available to pave roads. So I can look back even before my tenure and to see how much was invested through the budget, annual budget. $1 to $2 to maybe $3 million a year was invested, and that just doesn't pave a whole lot of roads. It used to be that our only mechanism to improve roads was a mill and overlay. We're at a point you can't mill and overlay your way out of this mess. So you have to do multiple things like this preventative sealer, like crack sealing and other things.
I'm just curious too, Mike, what ballpark, do you have a number, like what would be the magic number to repave and fix every single road in the city, if you could get that number?
Every single road in the city would cost $120 million.
Wow.
That's
a lot of money.
It's a lot of roadways.
And when you're only putting $1, $2, $3 million a year.
And if a roadway's only supposed to last 20 years at most, we're really kind of getting more like 15 years out of our roads. That means we'd have to do more than 10 to 12 million a year, and we're not doing anywhere close to that to maintain.
An important fact for people at home, and I know that it's always a work in progress. Always.
It is, yeah. It's a maintenance issue. It's not really a one and done because I'm trying to get it to a place where it's maintainable and manageable.
Mike Labitzke, engineer for the City of Evansville. Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Great to be back. Thank you.